Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. It's Those Wrestling Girls. It's your girl Krista B.
And Queen P.R.
I'm sorry, your face was hilarious just now.
Yes.
Yeah. Media. Anywho, okay, so today we're back with another fun episode. You know, I think these are your favorite episodes.
I like these. They're fun.
So today we are recapping some top moments from Elimination Chamber because that is the next pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. Yeah. So P, take it away, sis.
Yeah. So I didn't realize how much I loved Elimination Chamber because it's one of those things that women were given like in the most like recent years. So this will only be the third. If the women have an Elimination Chamber match this year, it would only be the third one. And there's something like really cool about that because WWE has a lot of history and a lot of years behind them, but like with the women, like it's still, everything is still so new to them. And then the first two Elimination Chambers were both historic for a number of reasons. The first one was because it was the first one in 2018. And then in 2019, it was the first time they crowned the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So
which was Sasha and Bailey.
Yes. So looking back at that was really cool. And then, you know, the year went by really fast. Like Elimination Chamber is already going to be here very, very soon. And it's like it's the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So it's always like pretty like epic what's going to happen. So I wanted us to do an episode because our Royal Rumble episode did really good of us looking back. So I was like, what should we do for Elimination Chamber?
And my prediction came true. Naomi came back.
It did, yes. That was such a good moment. And she's killing it. So
she's killing it.
What do you like about Elimination Chamber? How did you feel? Also, how did you feel when you found out the women would get their own match?
First of all, I think that's why I love Elimination Chamber. To be honest, is because the women actually had that match. The women actually had that platform. Elimination Chamber started back in 2002 or 3, which I believe is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Randy Orton, like those big names in the chamber. And then it takes us a good 17 years after, maybe 15 years later, to have our very first women's Elimination Chambers match. And it just upped that bar. Like, it literally gave women that platform, like, okay, well,
it really did.
Y'all trying to test us against the men? We can do it.
Yep.
Like, we had our first tables match with the Divas of Doom. And then it was like, okay, we had that very first one, and then we didn't really have no more after that. Yeah. Like, we didn't have no more matches that stood out to be like the men's matches.
Yeah.
So, So for that to happen, it was just like, yo, like, the women are making it. Like, we're literally climbing. Like, this is what it is for us. This is what we want to. Even us as fans, like, this is what we want to see. Like, it's good to see the men. Yeah. But it's like, we as women are strong.
Yeah,
strong
we can handle a fucking Elimination Chamber match.
Exactly. If we can give birth,
right?
We can go through a table. We can go through a table. We can do all of that and be good. Be good. So I was happy with that.
Me too. And it was great too because it was in 2018 where we already announced that we would have our own Royal Rumble match, and then literally the next month they make history again with their first Elimination Chamber match. And I think that's why that match kind of like goes forgotten or like it's kind of underrated because it was right after the first Women's Royal Rumble, and then like 3 weeks later they make history again. So I always felt like the women's Elimination Chamber matches were underrated. I think the first one was really good. I think the second one was even better. And anytime the women are given like that opportunity to deliver, I feel like they deliver. They were like, oh, Elimination Chamber match? We got you. Yeah. So I want to do this one in the same kind of way that we did the Royal Rumble match. And then just kind of talk about moments that we liked. So the 2018 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view was good. And it had other women's matches too that I completely forgot about. So this was around the time where Asuka was still in her undefeated streak. And that was that whole thing where it was like, who's going to beat Asuka's streak, blah, blah. She would have matches all the time. And it was like, okay, no one can beat her or whatever. So she had a match with Nia Jax that night. And it was supposed to be, you know, every match at that point was like, oh my God, is Asuka going to break her streak? Is Asuka going to break her streak? And she had a match with Nia Jax. She ended up beating Nia Jax, which was interesting because then I feel like they were also kind of pushing Nia Jax in a way because at that WrestleMania, she actually won her first Raw championship. And then something else happened. Ronda Rousey, she signed her Raw contract that night.
She did.
With Stephanie McMahon, which I found interesting because I don't ever remember them doing contract signing just for somebody to come to Raw.
They never did. But I believe in Ronda Rousey's case, they wanted to make it a big spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she popped up at Royal Rumble at the end after her and The Rock went against Stephanie and Triple H in the ring at WrestleMania, which I just rewatched and it's hilarious. And then at Elimination Chamber, everybody was already expecting to see Ronda at Mania.
Right.
Because that's when she teamed up with Angle and to go against Stephanie and Triple H again. So even though it wasn't announced then, it was the build to it. Everybody wanted to see her. And we wasn't seeing her on Raw.
When is she going to do something?
Like, we wasn't seeing her on Raw. We wasn't seeing her on SmackDown. So, yeah. Why not have the contract sign and add another pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania? Then after that, that's when we started, because that's when they made it official. So now it's like, you have to be on Raw every Monday. And you have to be in these matches, and you have to show what you can do before you make it to Mania. And her first big match, her real big debut was at WrestleMania.
Yep. How did you feel, real quick, how did you feel about Ronda Rousey's first match in WrestleMania, at WrestleMania?
I felt like it was good because she was transitioning. And after watching her 24, like, I already called it, but I already knew that she wasn't trying to be in the limelight and automatically go into a Brock Lesnar spotlight. Like, she wanted to climb up that ladder and be on some, okay, I'm going to come in here, forget my name, forget who I am. I'm going to come in here and blood, sweat, tears with these other females who've been doing it for years. Yeah. Like, I've been in the octagon. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay. Yeah. I've been in the octagon, and it was hardcore, like bare knuckle and all of that or whatever. But now I'm stepping into the squared circle where things are a lot more toned down. You know, I can still do some of my moves, but not all of my moves. So I want to learn. So I feel like putting her with legends like Triple H and Kurt Angle and Stephanie. Stephanie's a legend in her own right too. I feel like it was good for her because it's like the new good guy is coming to take on the authority. Yeah. And then we also got to see Stephanie in a different light. Yeah. Like, yeah, she was nitpicking, but at the same time, it's like, oh, wait, I got to go back to what I was in 2014 or to what I was from the 90s all the way in 2000s where I had to actually wrestle. So it was just like, oh, shit. So I liked Ronda in that match. It worked well. She won her first match with Kurt Angle. And then it was just skyrocket from there. Every match she improved. I agree. Up until her last WrestleMania.
And we would say that too. Like every time we would be like, yo, Ronda's getting better. Ronda's getting good. You know, say what you want to say about Ronda Rousey. And I even have my complaints during that time she was there. But what else did you expect from WWE? She's Ronda Rousey. Did you really expect her to freaking lose matches? Like, did you really not expect her to be champion?
Not saying that she didn't lose matches, you know, though. She has.
Yeah. But, like, of course they were going to position her a certain way. She's Ronda Rousey. Like, arguably the best female athlete in the world besides Serena Williams. But she's one of the best female athletes in the world. Like, of course they were going to, like, kind of push her more than the normal WWE superstar. But everybody acted like that was, like, they were so surprised by that. And I was just like, why? Especially
get over yourself.
And then we learned that how much she loved and respected the business. Like, she wanted to earn everybody's respect. Like, she wanted to not come in how we're saying. Like, she wanted to learn. So when I was rewatching Elimination Chamber and I remember that Raw contract signing, I just thought that was really interesting. And then it started out, like you said, the build to WrestleMania, like her beef with Stephanie and Triple H, and then they tried to get like Kurt Angle against her and all of that.
Right.
So it just
and
reminded me how fun was that. Yeah.
Nah, fam. Nah.
Because he know what Stephanie and Triple H do. Like, he's been in the game too long.
I love that build because, and I know we talking about Elimination Chamber, but I love that build because it was just like when Kurt was like, didn't you just say that Ronda was this, that, and third? Like, that was hilarious.
They was like, Kurt,
it was good because that's what led to her actually signing the contract for WrestleMania. And I know we're talking about Elimination Chamber, but I just felt like I had to say that because it was just
and that was so funny.
It's like a thing that you can't not talk about. But back to Elimination Chamber, yes, Ronda did come out and sign, and it just kind of went uphill from there.
Yes. And then another, okay, so those were the other 2 women's matches. And that was another thing I loved about 2018 in general, is that the women, it was right in the middle of whatever women's evolution you want to call it, and women were getting a lot of opportunities. So, like, there were 3 women's matches on this pay-per-view. There was, not matches, but, like, women in general. So there was Asuka versus Nia Jax, and then Ronda Rousey had her segment, and then there was the Elimination Chamber match that opened the show. So, just to kind of set up what the 2018 Elimination Chamber match was, this is back when Kurt Angle was the general manager of Raw. And he had set up a title match with Brock Lesnar, because he has said, like, it has been a while since Brock Lesnar had a challenge for it, and it was about time. And he was like, you know what, to be fair, Alexa Bliss, who was the Raw Women's Champion at the time, hadn't defended her championship either in a while. So he was just like, you know what, if I'm making Brock challenge for his title in the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to make Alexa Bliss challenge for hers. And Alexa Bliss, being Alexa Bliss, did not think that was fair. Of course, she did not feel like she needed to, because she's not the one that books the matches. So, like, it's not her fault she didn't have to defend it. So Kurt Angle was like, you know what? I'm the one that makes the matches, so I'm going to have you defend it in the Elimination Chamber. And there was a bunch of qualifying matches, but it ended up being Sasha, Bayley, Alexa, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville in the Elimination Chamber match. So what's one moment that's off the top of your head from the Elimination Chamber match from 2018?
Nia Jax going through the...
Oh, that was 2019.
She wasn't in 20... Oh, no, that was tag team in 2019.
Yeah.
Damn. You said Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks. Sasha wasn't... I'm sorry, repeat the names again.
Sasha, Bayley, Alexa, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. And this is the one where Sasha kind of like turned on Bayley.
Yes, I was about to say that. Because I was rewatching clips of, somebody did this excellent reel of Sasha, like taking everybody's finishers from Royal Rumble and every other. And I'm trying to see if that was when, Alexa Bliss kind of slapped her when she was on top of the pod. And I believe that was it. So that's why I was thinking like,
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
So yes, of course, Sasha turning on Bayley. It wasn't a surprise. It was never expected. It wasn't. Right. It was expected. It wasn't a surprise. Right. Like,
I don't know why Bayley really thought Sasha would have her back at this point.
Because it's everybody for themselves. I do like how Sonya and Mandy kind of stayed solid throughout the whole thing. Overall, I loved it because, like I said, it was the first, so it's not really much to pick out of. It's always just like, yo, like
they did it.
Like I was having out of body experiences as if I was in the match. Like, these women are literally etched in history to be a part of the very first ever women's elimination chamber.
That's
like
crazy.
That's crazy. Like, this is something I have to tell my grandkids. And not to stay off the subject, but you said Sarah Logan was in the first elimination chamber, right?
She was in the second one.
Okay, she was in the second one. So, and this is just off the topic a little bit because it just goes to how these women are really improving. So I'm watching wrestling with my nephew, the 5-year-old, and the guys are on. He's not paying attention. He's not paying attention at all. Charlotte and Sarah come on. He's like, oh my gosh. Look, the wrestlers. He kept saying, the wrestlers. Just the wrestlers.
Oh my God.
And then Charlotte did something to Sarah, and he goes, Krista, I don't like her. I like the girl with the black thing on her face because the other girl was just like really mean. So the fact that these women are even drawing 5-year-olds in, like, that means a lot. That's how we were when the guys were on. We were his age. So it's like a full circle. So that goes to say, like, these women are literally doing their thing.
They're making a difference.
Yes,
that really makes me happy.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
Makes me happy. He's like the cutest thing ever. Can't believe he's 5.
I know, right?
But yeah, it's interesting like that you say that too, because at this point in time, it was kind of like, can the women deliver? Type of thing. Like, people were like, okay, can they deliver? But then I feel like Royal Rumble really was like, nah, like these women have something. Like, they got it. And there was a lot of like great moments in this match. Like, you have the Sasha and Bayley moment, of course, where Bayley, like, Sasha supposedly is gonna help So Alexa Bliss is the last one to come out of her pod, of course, for this match. And
she was trying to keep it closed.
And she was trying to keep it closed for a long time. And then she tries to like climb up. Like she climbs the chamber. She tries to climb up or whatever. And Sasha and Bayley like on her. So Sasha follows her. And then Bayley tries to come up as well. And then Sasha acts like she's going to grab Bayley's hand and then like kicks her off. And that sparked, do you remember when like Sasha and Bayley went through like their therapy sessions feud. And yes, where like 1 week you thought they were going to turn each other. Then there was this one Raw and where Bayley like she turned on Sasha and started beating Sasha up, and I remember the crowd being so
behind.
Like,
me too. I was like, yes, Bayley,
and
kick
I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Kick
and then she didn't stop. She just kept going and going and going and going. That is the reaction that I think a lot of people were hoping her recent heel turn would get. Like, I'm not saying that her heel turn is a failure or anything, but the crowd at least were into that exact moment, because I never heard a crowd scream that loud for Bayley in my life when she was beating the shit out of Sasha after Elimination Chamber.
I believe because people were tired of seeing Sasha turn on Bayley, yes. Or 1 minute, that's my best friend, next minute, I'm going to do whatever I want. Yep. It's every woman for myself. I'm the boss. I'm this, that, and third. Just like with Sasha and Becky.
Yeah.
When Charlotte came to help her.
Yep.
And Becky whipped that ass. Yep. It was just like that. So I feel like that one was more expected because she was the good girl always getting walked over.
Yeah.
Now that she's healed, everybody loves that she's healed, but it's just like, I love heel Bayley.
Me too. She's grown on me. She's grown on me.
I love heel Bayley.
And like you said, you had mentioned it before, and I'm so glad that you did, about how Mandy and Sonya, even at this point, they never, like, you know how it was one man for themselves, they never had that mentality in this match in 2018. They were just like, no, we're in this together. Bayley and I think Mandy Rose started the match, and then Sonya was like the third one in, and they tried to like beat up Bayley, and then Sasha came in, and Sasha like had her back or whatever. So it was a lot of good storytelling told in this match. And then I want to talk about Mickie James in this match, because I feel like Mickie James doesn't get talked about enough, and I kind of want to do a spotlight.
She was older.
Yeah, and she killed it in that match. She did hold on, I had to look up the move. She did a seated senton off of a top of the pod, which is a move that Mickie James does often from the top rope, but it has a completely different impact when it's on top of one of those pods and everything. And it was just so fucking cool. And I remember during that match being like, yes, Mickie. And then like she literally got eliminated like 2 seconds later.
That shit took the wind out of her. That's why.
Right. I think she eliminated Sonya Deville with that, and then got Bayley to belly, and then got eliminated right after that.
I want to know, and I mean, I don't really want to know, because if I get a Bayley to Bayley, it's straight Brooklyn style in that.
Right. Grabbing that little bob hair of hers, some shit.
All that. But I just want to know, like, the impact. Like, I know, like, once you fall, like, on your back, it takes the fucking wind out of you. Because trust me, I was like the ultimate tomboy growing up. I've fallen on my back,
gotten
my
tackled
stomach.
A few times.
I've been speared, like literally, like, ooh, y'all.
I've gotten choke slammed a couple times.
Oh no, I ain't never been choke slammed. Nope, lying. Yes, I have. Rock bottomed. Yeah, a few. Like, we were some ruthless ass kids.
It's the attitude. I blame the attitude era for everything.
Like, I'm gonna just I blame attitude era tattoo.
Everything I do wrong is I grew up in the attitude.
Right. I blame attitude era. Thanks, WWE. But I just want to know, like, does it really take the wind out of you, so where you can't get back up? Like, is it like a good finisher?
Yeah. I always think that too.
Or they're like really overselling.
Yeah, because it's really just like, I don't know. Again, I'm also not a wrestler, but like,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it'll be times where you did straight Brooklyn style.
The referee gonna be like, no, like, no.
Throw the towel in. She done. That's it.
Slam me. Yeah.
That's it. Straight Brooklyn style.
How did you feel? Because I remember being upset in the moment, and like, I'll be upset at things when it comes to wrestling in the moment, and then like time will go by, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, like I'm kind of okay with that. But like, I did not want Alexa to retain in that moment. How did you feel when
I wasn't an Alexa
won?
fan, so it didn't matter to me.
At that time, I was not. I was like,
I mean, I kind of
wanted like Sasha or Bailey or anyone else to win besides Alexa Bliss. Honestly,
I think that was when my love for Sonya Deville started to grow. Like, so I kind of wanted her to win. Like, I wanted an underdog to win.
Yeah.
And like Mandy Rose was coming out to being all sultry and sensual and whatnot with the blur. And I'm just like, no, like I want Corey Graves is gonna hear that and get all hot. Sorry.
Even the reason why I just did that and laughed, because even now when they talk about her, they'll be like the commercial about her and Otis's date is like, Otis has a date with Mandy. I'm like, yo, guys, like, come on.
The drag. Oh man, these episodes just get better and better.
I know, right? I was like, I literally laughed. Like, I texted Krista today. It was like, yo, today's gonna be. I just knew today was gonna be fun.
She gets really hype over these guys, and I just
because it's so.
I swear, she'll text me at the wrong. She'll text me when my headspace is not into it, and I just be like, I'll one word, okay, laugh out loud, or I'll be like, okay, laugh out loud, and I won't respond, and she's just like going, and I'm just like. I'll have to leave her on red sometimes. I'll be like coming out of meetings or going into another meeting, and I'm just like, bruh. But I get her excitement. Like when I'm sitting here now, I get it. But out there, and I'm just like, I can't really look. Like I glimpse and I'll see a laugh out loud. So I'm like, oh, laugh out loud, got it. But I'm not ignoring you, sis, I promise.
Damn, you see? I'm not ignoring her. You see how the truth comes out?
It's girl, you know where we work at.
Yes. And it's funny because like. I don't know how we do it. Okay. Like, you're, like, working right now.
I'm working, like, literally right now.
Like, guys, like, we do a lot to bring this show to
We do. Appreciate it. Subscribe to us. All that.
Yes. But, so Alexa Bliss winning, what I did like about it later on and appreciated about it later on was, like, she did the ultimate heel, like, acceptance speech, like, the speech after. Like, she was just like, I just want to thank I don't want to thank anybody.
Yeah.
And she did her typical Alexa Bliss. And in the moment in 2018, I was pissed. Like, fuck you, Alexa. Like, not like really fuck you, but like, I was like, I didn't want you to win. But now I look back on it and I'm like, yes, Alexa. Like, she was Alexa Bliss winning, and that's exactly how Alexa Bliss should have reacted to herself winning. And she shouldn't have had to, like she said, she shouldn't have had to defend her title against all those girls anyway. So I'm glad that she was able to take that home.
But I feel like Kirk did it out of, I'm gonna teach you a lesson because you run your mouth too much. If you ain't just shut up.
She needed a,
but she wasn't doing a title defense during that run. She wasn't.
It was like 2 months. It was like 2 months at that point. Like. That she had defended it, so it was time. But so 2018 Elimination Chamber for the women was really fun. It was good to see kind of like that next step in Ronda Rousey's career, like because she debuted at Royal Rumble. The next pay-per-view was Elimination Chamber, so she signed her Raw contract, set up the road to WrestleMania with Stephanie and Triple H, which was cool. Asuka at this point was like the best thing ever, and she was able to kind of continue her undefeated streak against Nia Jax, so that was cool too.
Which I think I was really hyped for. Yeah, because it's just like, okay, you have Nia, who's like a possibility. Yeah, like she's bigger and she's strong, like she's astute, like and you have Asuka, like she was the Empress of Tomorrow, like she had the craziest hits. All of that.
Remember how she was like. Her aura back in 2018, 2017, where like you really felt like nobody could beat her. Mm-hmm. I miss those days sometimes.
Now Asuka just gets on my nerves. Asuka gets on my nerves. She does. Because it's just like, and it's not because, she speaks Japanese or whatever. It's just like, I know you're supposed to be cocky, but when your cocky becomes cocky, sit down.
See, that's how I feel about Becky.
Really? I don't think Becky...
I'm sorry. I love Becky to death. I just feel like I'm over her. That's what it is. I'm over her. That's what it is.
I don't think I'm over her yet because of the fact that I keep thinking back to the times where she was played crazy.
That was like she's been pushed for over a year now.
And it doesn't bother me yet. So I'm by this time when they was doing that Roman push, I was like, all right. Okay, and I love Roman, but I'm kind of sick of it now. For Becky, it doesn't bother me because I feel like who are they going to push now? They're going to go back to push Charlotte again? They're going to go back to push Sasha again?
Not.
Like, and yes, I want to see Naomi pushed or Bianca pushed or, you know, Ember pushed or, you know, but you have to go with your record. And I feel like Becky carries it really well. Like, now my feud is starting to come to fruition now.
Seems that way.
It seems that way. So now I'm just like, right, let's see how this goes. Like, I think they're gonna peel back her push a little bit. Not with being so cocky as the man because of what happened on Raw with Shayna. So now I just be like, all right, now they're gonna try to open a beast in Becky. Because I feel like that's what people want to see now. They want to see that beast. Like, they don't want to see this cocky man shit. They want to see a beast. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Becky, ready. I got you, girl.
I'm ready for her to... I love seeing her. I want her to still be like the center of the division, but I want to see her drop the title to someone. I want her to mix it up with someone to where it's not so predictable. Because like
who would she
now,
drop the title to?
I don't know.
Let's be honest.
I don't know. I don't want it to be predictable, so I have no idea. But my thing is, like, when Becky has a title match now, we know she's going to win. And that is what is getting boring to me. Because now it's just like, okay, like, all right, we already know you're going to win. Like, why do I care about this match? But, like, unlike, like, when she was feuding with Sasha, like, it seemed like there was a 1% chance that Sasha coming back might just take the belt from her. You know what I mean? But now it's just like, okay, we already know Becky's gonna win. They already gonna position her to look like she could take a bullet and like that's it. So like,
not take a bullet.
But that's how they position her. Literally, Shayna bit a chunk of her neck off. This bitch got up, walked away, drove the ambulance to the hospital, and drove it back.
I saw that, and somebody
who does that,
and somebody put it as
How was that realistic?
They said WWE GTA.
I did not see that on Twitter.
I saw that.
That's actually hilarious.
That's hilarious. That was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But who does that? Can we not think about when Dean Ambrose got injured, drove the ambulance, and
it didn't seem realistic then either.
Came back, but everybody was cheering. Like, they wasn't dragging him on Instagram, on social media like they did Becky. Like, he drove it wasn't an ambulance. It was a fucking cop truck, the paddy wagon.
Oh, see,
and
that's
he had
different.
The shield in it. No, because they were all arrested.
Like, who gets hurt?
They got beat up and then arrested.
The ambulance to the hospital, gets hospital care, gets back in the driver's seat of the ambulance, and drives the ambulance back.
The fucking man.
Can you tell me how that is even close to being even like believable?
It's not realistic.
But, like,
you know.
It's just like, because to me it's just like, okay, so nothing can hurt Becky. Then how am I interested in her then? If nothing can hurt her, then it's just like, okay, if not even Shayna Baszler biting a chunk of your neck off hurts you.
Well, she did come back and she did say
at all. I'm like,
that
okay,
it was
so literally
hurt.
You could take anything and like nothing happens to you.
But she did say that she was hurt and that they gave her something to numb her pain. And mind you, if you can sit here and buy the whole Randy Orton and
I didn't
Edge
buy
thing.
that. I said it was entertaining.
Okay,
you believe that his neck was really hurt. I just said it was entertaining.
So
I just feel like that was just kind of just like, I don't know. It just takes me. I don't know, like, it just makes me feel like, why are we scared of Shayna then if she can bite out Becky's neck and all Becky could do is get up and drive herself to the hospital?
Listen,
like, it just,
I have to rewatch it because I was not watching Raw and I got a text from Lou talking about, okay, do you want to explain this biting thing? I said, what are you talking about? Who's biting what?
Lou would know where I'm coming from.
Well, he should have texted you yesterday instead of me. Because I was watching The Ladder with my goddaughter, okay? Yes. I didn't know what was going on.
Yes, but you should definitely rewatch that.
I saw the clips and I was confused.
Let me know how you feel.
I was genuinely confused. Like, if you're going to call Shayna up to Raw, why are you calling her up as a vampire? What is this, Twilight? Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Vampire Diaries? What is going on here?
And then if that's the case also, if she bites somebody's neck off and all they do is get right up after they do it, then what's the point of that? Like...
I mean, I see what you're saying. I would have waited.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would have waited till next Raw.
Like, she bit Becky. Becky was like, okay, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm going to drive myself. And then drives herself back.
But back to what if she didn't leave to go to the hospital?
No, she drove herself to the hospital, quote unquote, got medical care, drove herself back in the ambulance. How does that make any type of sense at all? And how am I supposed to be afraid of Shayna if you bite me and I just get right back up? Like, to the point where there's blood on you and you're just like, whoop, okay.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna drive myself to the hospital, and then you drive yourself back and do a promo. Like, how am I invested in that? Like, I'm just not. But anyway, back to Elimination Chamber.
See how we could just get so off topic, y'all?
Yes,
it's real.
Yes, because I love Becky to death, and I love that she is the face of the division. But I want her to use that face to make cool stories with other women, so that they can also get like some shine. But
some shine.
something, but
give us what we want,
right?
Batista voice.
I was gonna try to do it, but I just started laughing.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so 2019 Elimination Chamber match was also history making because
it was tag team
crowned the first ever tag team champions, and Alexa Bliss was also actually heavily featured in this too, because she announced the tag team championships on her show Moment of Bliss, and she announced that it would be defended in Elimination Chamber, and Sasha and Bayley
won.
Fire and Desire was in that match. The Iconics, Nia Jackson, Tamina,
and
who
Naomi
was fresh off the face breaker shit, and Riot Squad and Naomi and Carmella. What did you think about all of those tag teams before we even get into the match? Like, when you heard they were going to be in the match, how did you feel?
I mean, at the end of the day, it was no way to really feel, because everybody was rooting for Sasha and Bayley, because that's something that they wanted for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
There were no really actual tag teams besides Fire and Desire, Iconics, and Riot Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, okay, we could put Tamina and Nia together because, family bloodline.
Yeah, that was a cool. It's almost like, why haven't y'all been a tag team forever?
Right. And then, of course, you would put Sasha and Bayley together because they're best friends, and they're part of the Four Horsewomen.
And the Boss and Hug connection.
Right.
I hated that name at first, and then when they actually became a tag team and was like, we're going to be the tag team champions, I was like,
I still hated it because it's just like, you can't replace Rock and Sock.
Rock and Sock. Yeah, right. And Boss and Hug.
It didn't even rhyme. Anyway. And then with Naomi and Carmella, it was cool. I liked it because they had that.
I wanted that tag team until they were together, and I was like, "This makes sense." They both dance. They both.
That's something you had that dance background, their characters or whatever. So I liked all of them that were in that.
Was cool too,
right? Of course, I liked all of them that were in it. And they showed up and showed out, honey.
They really did. That
they topped the first
really
one.
Good. Yeah, I totally agree. And the cool thing about this match was that it was twice as many women as the first match because it was a tag team match. So you were able to showcase more women. Mm-hmm. And like you said, there were actual tag teams in there, like Fire and Desire, how you mentioned they never went against each other. They were always a unit, even in the Elimination Chamber last year. Then you had the Iconics. Nia Jackson, Tamina made total sense. Riot Squad made sense. And then Naomi and Carmella, that was an interesting tag team because, one, they weren't really a tag team, but it worked. And then this was around the time where Corey Graves' ex-wife had put on this was maybe
how
a
Carmella
week and a half
homewrecker.
Earlier. Yeah, she had put on Instagram how Carmella was a homewrecker. Graves was cheating on her with Carmella this whole time. We later find out that they were separated for a while and his wife was just a little bitter, but whatever. But this was the first time Carmella would be coming out amid the controversy, so it was very interesting to see how that would be looked at. And I don't know, it honestly didn't really make a difference because they came out first and their entrance was really dope. And you had mentioned a moment that you liked from this match particularly, and that was when Nia going through the pod.
Yep.
That was
first we seen her go through the barricade. I'm like, damn, that was some force, hence irresistible force. But then when who did she try to squish? A spear.
I think it was Sasha, and then Sasha either pushed her or moved out the way, and she went through. I've never seen anyone crash into the pod like that before.
Not even dudes.
Oh, shit.
Not even the dudes. Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
I was just like, God damn, that is a powerful woman.
That was good. And I like that because that was the only realistic way that they were going to take down Nia Jackson Tamina, because they were positioned so strong in that match. Mm-hmm. It was who's really going to take down Nia Jackson? I remember them all getting on Nia to pin her, which I thought was really cool. And then there was a sequence, and we've talked about this before during this match, where everybody in the match, it was a sequence where everyone in the match did their did a thing. It was just boom, boom.
Oh,
boom,
they
boom,
finishers.
Boom, 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 boom. And the Iconics, who always get flakes for not being good wrestlers, they did this pin combination where like Peyton Royce like flipped and like it was beautiful. Like anytime I'm watching that match, like I fast forward that like 5 minutes just to see everybody do like their own thing because it was like really cool to see. And that's what I like about the women's matches because they don't get a lot of opportunities, they don't get a lot of time, but like when they do, they show out like that. like I was like, oh, like check y'all out. And then Tamina was able to do a superfly splash off of the pod, which I thought was dope because
I think this is around the time her father had just passed too. I think.
And or close to it, yeah.
And this is did she wear all white then? No, that wasn't the all white one.
I think she might have wore black.
She wore black, but the all white one was at WrestleMania.
Yes. And that was really cool too. But that whole match was really cool. And like you said, nobody was rooting for anyone besides Sasha and Bailey. How did you feel when they won?
I loved it.
Me too.
Like, I'm all Team Naomi and Black Girl Magic and stuff like that. But I just feel like it wouldn't. I don't think I would want to see Naomi and Carmella as a tag team. It was cool to have them in it to feel it, but Bailey and Sasha have worked so hard to get to that point. Even in interviews they're talking about, oh, we want to, even when they was on and what was it, on Miz TV or Moment of Bliss or something like that?
I think it was Miz TV.
And they were talking about, oh, we want to be a tag team and go against Trish and Lita, and you know, or you can't make me turn on my best friend and this, that, and the third. Like, I just felt like they wanted to, and it'd have been good to bring that, you know, well, 2 of the 4 horsewomen, you know, this one, this, and, you know, the other 2 were doing this, and, you know, we all come together for this. And so I was happy for them. I was really happy for them.
I was really, really, really happy for them. They were like my first choice to win. And
we never agree on people.
No, but I just knew Sasha and Bailey, and they had said how Vince was so annoyed with them because like they would ask for tag team championships all the time, and he'd be like, no, because supposedly Vince McMahon hates tag teams. He does, and also doesn't have an affinity towards the women's division. So asking him to build women's tag team championship division was like, no. But then he finally agreed, and I will never forget. It was one of the Christmas episodes of Raw in 2017, and he was dressed as Santa, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna bring the WWE universe what they've always been wanting, and one of those things is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. But nobody knew when they were coming. We just knew that in 2018 they would come. And then on an episode of Moment of Bliss, Alexa Bliss says, you know, they will be granted to the first people at Elimination Chamber. So here we are, Elimination Chamber, and Sasha and Bailey win. And what's really cool about that is how emotional they are. They literally are crying their eyes out before the ref even hands them the championship belts. And mind you, these are brand new, spanking new championship belts. They are in tears. They try to get interviewed by Renee, and they literally can't talk. They're just, they both look at each other like, you say something. And they're like, I can't, I'm crying. And they're like so overwhelmed with emotion that I almost get overwhelmed with emotion because like, you know how much it means to them. Like you just know, like you can feel it through the TV, like how much it means to them and like how overwhelmed they were with emotion. Like even their backstage interview later, they still can't get it together. There's like, Bailey's just like, she doesn't even try. She's just like, I can't talk. Like, Sasha, you talk. And Sasha tries to, like, get something out.
It's not working.
But she barely can't. And, like, that's why I'm such a huge Sasha and Bailey fan. Because they remind you of themselves as kids loving wrestling. Like, you can see that in them. Like, they're just not... Like, they're not okay with just being WWE superstars. Like, they still remember themselves as fans. They still remember how badly they wanted this when they were younger, and it reminds you of like why you're a wrestling fan. And that's why I love them so much, and that's why I love that moment of like when they did win. I was just like, this is such a great moment. And then for them to lose the belts 2 months later at WrestleMania was just like, what?
I was over it.
Like, they had, and then the speech they gave on Raw the next night was just all of the plans they had for it. Like,
they even went to NXT. Remember, they went to NXT to try to battle. And I think at the time it was like Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. And
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They went and they just kind of like, and it goes back to how Sasha can never retain a belt or hold a belt for so long, and then to take that out on Bailey as well because. Right. She's her tag team partners. It was foul.
It really was. It really was. But that whole match was really good. And like I think the first 2 women's Elimination Chamber matches like really delivered. I think they should definitely get another one this year. Oh, and I just want to mention, so in 2019 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Ronda Rousey also had a match with Ruby Riott. So that's why it was Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan in the Elimination Chamber. And a lot of people were also excited about that match because there are a lot of Ruby Riott fans out there. Like, I didn't realize how many fans that she had, but like a lot of people were like excited for the opportunity for Ruby Riott to go against Ronda Rousey because Ruby Riott has a lot to offer. But of course, she was kind of only used to kind of build to the road to WrestleMania between Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky, because she literally beat Ruby Riott in like under 100 seconds. And everybody was just like, what a waste for Ruby. Like, Ruby is so much better than that. Like, okay, we all knew Ronda Rousey was going to win, but like, y'all could have gave her an actual match. Like, every pay-per-view Ronda Rousey fought someone new, which I give it to Ronda. Like, she faced a lot of different people. You know what I mean? It's not like she was just like, okay, whatever, I'm champion. Like, she faced almost everyone. I don't think Ruby Riott needed to be squashed that way. Like, I was just like, all right, okay, Ronda's going to win, but why do we need to squash Ruby in the process? And it was all just used to build up her match with Becky and Charlotte, who like had to stare down after that. So like, that was the only thing about that the women in that Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that I didn't like. Was I always thought Ruby Riott deserved better than what she got.
Of course, but then I believe in that match she also got injured.
Yeah, a lot
Ronda
of people
injured her by accident.
A lot of people.
And I think that was with her shoulder.
Yeah. She injured Alexa Bliss twice.
She did.
She like messed up her shoulder, gave her 2 concussions. She done almost broke Ruby Riott's shoulder. Like, and I honestly feel like it's one of those things where it can't be easy going from a sport where you're like supposed to hurt people and then going to a sport where you're supposed to act like you're hurting people. Like, I'm sure Ronda Rousey at some point doesn't know her own strength.
She doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Because she's so used to being
like, I'm supposed to try to break your arm in UFC. In WWE, I'm supposed to just act like I'm doing it. But, like, it's not that easy, especially with your adrenaline running and, like, you know, I'm supposed to give her an arm bar or something, but I'm supposed to, you know, like, I can see that. And I'm not making excuses for Ronda hurting people, but, like, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate because nobody really intentionally tries to hurt another wrestler. Like, no, I'm pretty sure she wasn't like, oh, I'm going to concuss Alexa Bliss today. Like,
right.
Like, you know? So, any last thoughts about Elimination Chamber?
I just want this one to be as dope as the first two. Like,
what do you think? Okay, so I've seen some people saying that the reason why Naomi lost on Friday was because they're building up for like a big Elimination Chamber match moment. So that means that either the Elimination Chamber will determine who faces Bayley, it'll determine the SmackDown Women's Championship. Like, what do you hope this chamber match will do? Because the first one was for the Raw Women's Championship. The second one was for the Tag Team Championships. What do you think the third one should be for? I like who faces Bayley at WrestleMania. That would be cool.
But we don't know who's facing Becky either.
I'm guessing Shayna.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, damn, that's hard. Why you gotta put me on the spot?
Sorry.
I feel like, yeah, facing Bayley. I feel like I do feel like it could be facing Bayley because the way Naomi and Bayley have been going back and forth at it on Twitter, and then Carmella's kind of chiming in on whatever, but that's just with her. Mm-hmm. So maybe it'll be a triple threat between Carmella, Naomi, and Bayley, or a number one contender. Then they take that to WrestleMania. But
I can see that.
I don't know.
See that.
I don't know.
I would like to see a match to determine who will face Bayley at WrestleMania, because then you could have like Carmella,
an Elimination
Naomi
Chamber match.
Yeah, so you can have like Naomi, Lacey, Carmella, Dana. Like, there's a lot of women in, or even Alexa. Like,
I don't think I want to see
match.
Lacey in that. Oh, but Lacey's on SmackDown.
Unless Naomi wins, I don't care who else is in the chamber. But I just want like Naomi to
right. Win. I feel like it's long overdue for Naomi to be a 3-time.
I agree. I totally agree.
SmackDown
She's so
Women's
hot right
Champion.
now. Like, there's so much going into that. And then, like, so many people outside of wrestling that have fallen in love with Naomi. So I think, like, they should definitely be building up a moment for her. If they're not, then that's just fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that was our Elimination Chamber episode. Please let us know if we missed any really cool moments in the comments. Let us know. I want to do one on Money in the Bank because that's another like historic WWE match that the women recently got, and those are always pretty epic moments. So yeah, let us know what you think of this episode and what you hope this year's Elimination Chamber match for the women will bring. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just how she ends. No,
I mean, I don't end things.
Yeah, that's my job. Sorry, it's my job. But no, yeah, like P said, just piggyback off what P said. Just let us know what you feel like you want to see at this year Elimination Chamber. Just write us in the comments below. This video will definitely be out soon because we want to get you guys' feedback. We're actually going to probably have a Q&A on our Patreon, or we may go live and have a Q&A with you.
Right. Or let us know what you want to see on our Patreon.
Exactly, because we have a lot, and we just need to figure out what to put out. Mm-hmm. But I definitely want to do a Q&A with you guys about Elimination Chamber, so we'll definitely let you know when that's going to happen. And that's it. And then on that note, sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. On that note, it's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen P.R.
And we are out.